way, know when to hope, know when to fold, know when to
Hey, I want to thank everyone for coming down here to Orlando. Connect everything. First ever IT Nation Connect. Happy IT Nation to you. I see we've had the normal House of Blues fallout.
Come on out, Jason. Good. Oh, yep.
Ain't no storm and ain't no feet. Ain't got time and ain't got sleep.
And we are here listening, and we will invest deeply in you and your success. We like to say that we are you, and by passing this torch, now we are us.
What's up, IT Nation?
Okay, this is the biggest, most amazing conference we've put on yet.
I feel free. I'm the last man standing in the street. I'm the last man standing in the street. I'm the last man standing in the street.
We're looking forward to riding the next wave of success with you.
Please welcome Greg Lawley, SVP and GM, IT Nation.
Hello, IT Nation. Thank you very much. What a great reception. I appreciate it, and it's wonderful to be here with you all. Whether you're joining us here in Orlando or joining the thousands streaming globally, I want to say how grateful we are that you're here and for us for joining for IT Nation Connect 2024. It's because of your collective and unwavering support over the years that allows us to have this amazing experience. And I'd be remiss right off the top not to give special attention to our sponsors who make this all possible. So please join me in a quick round of applause for all of our sponsors. Some of them are here. We're doing a telecast over in the pavilion. So thank you. For those that are here, like I said, we're streaming in the pavilion as well. So if you're over there, thank you very much. For those that don't know me, I started my career at ConnectWise almost 15 years ago. And the majority of that time was spent overseas. So I've had the distinct privilege of traveling around the world, engaging with partners, building global teams, and communities, really hearing your stories of transformation. And inevitably, no matter where I go, whether it's Auckland or Amsterdam or Austin, there was always one burning question that was asked far more than others. And the question is, what are MSPs doing that I'm not? Right? And that IT Nation is the question that unites all of us. And coincidentally, it sets the stage for why we're here over the next 2 days. So that's the question I'm going to answer for you over the next 15 minutes. Once a year, every November, companies from all over the world come here to IT Nation Connect to be inspired, to learn best practices, meet and greet old friends. It's become an annual pilgrimage for many. So what I want to do really quick is just take an ad hoc poll. If this is your first time at IT Nation Connect, can you please applaud? Thank you. Welcome first-timers. How about if you've been to at least 5 IT Nation Connects? Can you applaud? Thank you. And now I'm going to ask if you've been to 10 to please stand. We're going to turn up the lights, and if you've been to 10 IT Nation Connects, please stand. Thank you all very much. These are the partners that you need to take note of. They're the ones that are going to help you get the most out of the week. And if they recently just sold their businesses, they may pick up the bar tab later on. So give them a nudge. Got a little extra money in their pocket. So if you aren't aware, this is our 20th IT Nation, marking 2 decades of helping businesses transform the MSP space. And our mission back then was the same as it is today, and that's to fill gaps in the IT industry. Now, if you think about back in 2005, for a second, that gap was converting our customers from break fix to managed services. And at that time, the IT Nation partnered with Service Leadership and HTG, the peer groups, which are now known as Evolve. And really to help redefine your business model and do so profitably, Whether it was the concept of triple partner profits or navigating the silos of chaos or even the modern office that was released, we've consistently been focused on education with the sole purpose of closing business gaps to drive higher efficiency, monetization, and modernization. And the thought leadership then was crystallized with these creating of shared experiences. Back in 2005, we started the first one. And ever since, we're adding events as the business needs and the technology evolved and in a response to fill those ever-changing gaps. For example, when it was evident that we could link automation and efficiency to profitability, we launched Automation Nation, an event back in 2010, positioned us as digital pioneers in the industry. And as the market shifted, dynamics changed, we saw the influx of solution partners coming in. So with that, we met the challenge head on with our Innovation Incubator program, which we now call Pitch It. So over the last 7 years, we have helped over 100 solution providers from 9 countries launch in the channel, with 70% of them being the brainchild of an MSP. So in 2020, as you know, the world changed altogether with COVID, and the threat landscape got elevated, expanded, having more threat actors who are looking to capitalize on our vulnerabilities with more sophisticated, precise, and targeted attacks. And the attacks created an army that we're really incapable of defending alone. So in response to that, we launched the first ever industry event focused on advanced security, and it's called Secure, and we're going to celebrate our 6th anniversary here in June in Orlando. And most recently, and last but not least, IT Nation Grow. So to help our business partners create the value inside the business and take the mystery out of the transition process well in advance of the transaction, which many times, but not exclusively, is through M&A. So our industry has matured, and so has the IT Nation. As we face new challenges and opportunities, the IT Nation's committed to the same mission of surveying the landscape and filling the gaps where they exist. And the good news for everybody is there's still a lot of gaps in technology and in the SMB space. And that means continued opportunity for all of us. And I can tell you and be clear with you, for any marked figure that we see, there's no decline for the next 8 to 10 years. So now more than ever, SMBs are seeking your wisdom to help them progress on their digital journey. If you look at the data from Canalys, 600 million SMBs globally. And we know they're the backbone of any of the global economy, right? 95% of the firms that are out there are SMB, and they constitute anywhere about 60 to 70% of the workforce. However, regarding the digital transformation and their maturity, they've made progress, but they still face significant gaps. And there's 3 main gaps that they face. And they're in resources, expertise, and AI and security. So if we start with resources, we know SMBs generally have limited financial resources that prevent them from buying enterprise-grade products, onboarding and purchasing these outdated systems that they need to keep up with, and keeping up with best practices. And from an HR perspective, they lack the skill set entirely if they're small enough, or if they're a mid-size SMB, maybe they have some skill sets, but they lack the full set, or they have an agenda that's stacked a mile high that they'll never achieve. So only through leveraging your teams will they be able to unlock that potential and deliver something that they'll never be able to deliver without you. And when we talk about expertise, we're no longer talking just about service delivery. Now, sure, it's as important as ever, but we're talking about that VCIO role, and we're talking about earning a seat at the table. When you're talking, your SMBs are talking about budget and planning, assisting in re-engineering their processes, and even making recommendations for resource optimization and allocation. Technical reporting, vendor management, and additional, right? Those are the skill sets that they seek right now from you. And of course, all things security and AI. As they continue to try to fend off attacks that are more sophisticated, they're looking for you to not only lead them in risk management, business continuity, compliance, governance, but reassess their processes so that when they automate, that it's going to be grounded in the best practices, and we just won't be automating old and archaic ways. So when you add these challenges to, as you know, things like work from home, tracking shadow IT, mobile device management, other technology, it makes it even more daunting to try to solve. So with the SMB gaps come opportunities for SMBs, but here's the catch. The gaps are only opportunities if you have the right skill set. So by analyzing the gaps that exist in the SMB space, we can reverse engineer what capabilities and services you need to gain or provide so that you can demonstrate value to your respective customers. And let's include the skills that you need internally to grow, as well as on their own as well as the business, because if they're not, they should be one and the same. What you do internally and externally should be a pretty good overlap. So we broke it down into 5 key areas and disciplines, and this is really important for the next 2 days. The reason we broke it down this way is it's a direct correlation of how we've organized and aligned the educational tracks. So there's intentionality of how we want you to find and close your gaps. The boxes under each discipline far exceed what I can ever reflect here in a few minutes, but they'll serve as a guide when you're considering what tracks and sessions to attend. So if you think about strategy and growth, again, if you're not co-authoring that roadmap with your partner, right, to talk about, as a business driver to outcomes, then you need to fill that immediately, right? Technology is not the end, it's the means to an end. It's enabler to deliver that outcome. And of course, everybody here knows ensuring operations continue with minimal disruption. We know about, obviously, again, data breaches, disasters. There's 24 sessions over the next 2 days that you can upskill. From a management and leadership position, one of the big blockers I see all the time when people ask is that, we need to invest more in a next level generation leadership team to scale the business and to grow. So owners get caught in the business. So we want to make sure that you're investing now so that you have a competent management team that'll help you grow with discipline. And of course, communication of financial targets and KPIs. If you've done that roadmap, you have to have drivers and you have to write metrics in order to govern and make sure that you can manage to what good looks like. AI and cybersecurity, risk management, right? We talked about strategies that are inclusive of frameworks, incident response, governance. They're essential to any MSP offering now. And deploying AI and RPA, both assets internally, so that we're taking those and we're committing the 3 T's, as we say, time, talent, and treasure, right now, to put them in your environment, to build a use case, to improve your processes and drive your margins higher. And then subsequently, when we talk about service delivery and operations, you're recognizing those same patterns in your customers, and you're taking that knowledge that you build internally and you're translating it to your customer's environment. That's the AI practice. You may have to hire a business analyst or a consultant, somebody who understands the business and the framework in order to help you unpack that. And of course, the visibility into the health and infrastructure of the IT, we talked about that kind of being table stakes, but continuous improvement. You have to have, as technology rapidly evolves, obviously we got to have continuous improvement. So there's tons of sessions on that. And we talked about, being in the business without replicating our archaic processes, so we want to make sure that we pay special attention to that. For sales and marketing, this is a big hole for many of us, right? So I will harp on this. My 30 years in the sales career, I would say this is probably where a lot of people need to be. And hiring, training, matching compensation to make sure that it matches your profitability. It's one of the pitfalls for sure that holds people back. And you can't get your cogs in order until you get those metrics right. And so investing time in learning AI tools, we've got several sessions, including one of the breakout keynotes. They're going to teach you large language models of using AI to develop content and curation. And again, it's another lever that you can pull to help reduce your cogs. Each session on the agenda was carefully reviewed, and it was tagged by mode and persona. So if you aren't familiar with modes, it's a business model that helps MSPs gain clarity and alignment on long-term goals, strategy, how you want your business to go forward, desired outcomes, and generally how the business is run. And it provides a blueprint for us to help you at IT Nation. So with the ultimate goal of customizing your learning approach, once we know the mode and the mindsets you're in, I can help map out your journey through the IT Nation. And by focusing internally, we just talked about you can either A, assess yourself, am I missing something completely, I don't have that skill set, or B, I'm doing it, but I'm not doing it really well, so I'm not optimizing it. And so if we go back to the beginning when I said we have one question, I'm sure you guys remember it, but what are the other MSPs doing that we're all in pursuit of the same thing? And the answer is, I'm not sure. And I don't say that to be clever. I say I'm not sure because every business is different. I don't live in your business. I don't know where your gaps are day to day, where you're optimizing and what you're not doing. But you know who does know? The IT Nation. What I've realized is the answers are in this room. For 2 decades, we've been working together, strengthened by the power of connections, our IT Nation colleagues, the Evolve peer group, community solution partners, all the frameworks we've amassed, the tools and so on. And by amassing these intellectual artifacts and the shared experiences, the collective wisdom is the first step in finding the answers. Wise together, rise together is not just a motto that we use. It's the foundation of our strategy, believing that we truly are better together. On top of that foundation, we stack 3 pillars, the first of which we have is a community of communities. Only by uniting communities, fostering a collaborative environment, can we take the ideas and resources, experience, and really expand the horizons for what we're creating and have a true multiplier effect. And together we form this formidable alliance of people that share the same DNA. Each community within the IT Nation plays a crucial role in shaping the future of our industry. And I'd like to take a minute to recognize the 13 communities that are here today, along with their leadership and their members. They're not only pridefully represent, go on. Thank you. They come here not only pridefully to represent their organizations, but they're here to deliver content and assist with the IT Nation in fulfilling our shared mission, right? The communities are also sponsoring an event after the pavilion tonight at 9 o'clock. We have a non-alcohol lounge. It's kind of an alternative to some of the other things that are going on around the hotel. So if you want something, if you want board games and kind of a little quiet night, we've got something set up for you. So I look to see you there. And I'd also like to address and acknowledge our media and our podcasters. They too are an extension of our communal strategy, and they're integral in helping us elevate and articulate our experiences as we all create these shared stories. The second pillar is the affirmation of the partner-centric ecosystem, which is so important to all of you and all those who believe in our philosophy. We believe in having everyone involved, and we believe that dialogue brings out the best in all of us. But more than an open ecosystem, we need to encourage and support each other's journey. And just yesterday, we invited our solution partner community to a day of education. And over the day, we discussed how more closely we could be aligned, and taught the principles of modes and curve jumping. And we shared insights from service leadership and the data in the industry, the same principles that we teach to our Evolve peer groups. Again, adding to that multiplier effect. So now we're educating the solution providers out there. Special thanks goes out to Dave Brown from the Twins podcast for true go-giver fashion, joined to educate us on public speaking and preparation and communicating more effectively. So thank you, Dave. And overall, nearly 100 channel leaders came to learn and share and spend time together. So thank you for all who put that together as well. And just an hour ago, I'm happy to say our year-long accelerated incubator program, Pitch It, we talked about, wrapped up its championship with the 3 finalists that you see on the screen. And I'd like everyone here to help me congratulate our winner of Pitch It this year, Sention. Well done. We're looking forward to, congratulations to all the contestants. We're really looking forward to watching them grow within the ecosystem. And last but not least, just one final pillar, and that's education first and always on. In a 24/7 world, we know that development and growth never ends. So to answer the challenge, we're building an industry library that will help you identify and close your gaps, where all voices are recognized. We talk about the communities again, our open ecosystem, the media, podcasters. You're going to see all of that on a single interface, right, to help assist you in achieving your mission. The IT Nation website will house all of this content from across the ecosystem and be aligned by mode, which we talked about before. So it's relevant to you for your business, your model, and your maturity. We can serve that up based upon the information that you give us. And by executing on the strategy, MSPs are going to be able to serve the community better and be in more communities globally. They'll be able to be more astute on every bit of technology that's out there, and they'll be able to seek guidance and education around the clock. The IT Nation is committed to the empowerment of your business by helping you achieve the most ambitious version of your success. So 2025 will mark the start of a 3rd decade in the IT Nation story. We've successfully been filling gaps in technology for over 20 years, and I have no doubt we'll do so for another 20. SMBs still have massive gaps, as we talked about, and they're relying on you to help, but you can only be effective if you understand your gaps and seek the collective wisdom that we are aggregating and aligning for you. You're here, and that's the first step, and we all know the first step after that is to engage. So when we're done here tonight, after the keynote, the first step is going over to spending time with 150 solution providers that are here, right? That's going to help close your resource gap, the gap number 1 that we talked about. So you can choose a technology that's best fit for you, your business, and to bring downstream. Tomorrow and Friday, we talked about then gap number 2 and 3. We talk about closing the expertise in the security and AI, the 5 tracks. We have SMEs here, we have community leaders, as we talked about, here to teach and here to bring everybody forward and help you understand where your gaps are and fill those gaps. And if you don't know about our Traveler's Journal, I highly recommend you stop by the IT Nation Central, which is inside the pavilion, and get a copy. The journal was developed specifically to help you maximize the value of your time here and get the best ROI out of the event. It helps you set goals and have a daily plan and capture takeaways. So it helps you record that inspiration for when you return home. And lastly, of course, follow us on social. There's a bunch of channels that we are on. Please feel free to do so. And before I go and take a breather, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to do 2 things here for you to help you engage and help us engage together. First, I know everyone's excited about Tony Hawk on Friday. So we're thrilled. And so I'd like to give some people here a chance to do a meet and greet and to meet with him. So here's what you got to do. We're going to have a couple different ways you can do that. One way is through social. So 3 things you got to do. You got to create a social post between now and Friday morning before he takes the stage at 9 a.m. You've got to use 2 hashtags, Wise Together, Rise Together, foundational philosophy of the IT Nation, as well as IT Nation Connect 24. Now pay attention and tag the IT Nation. So we need to do all 3 of those. We have the ability to look at all the posts between now and then, and we're going to pull 2 winners right before the keynote, before he goes on at 9 o'clock. And immediately after, 2 folks will have the chance to go and meet him personally. We'll get an autographed limited edition skateboard that he has and spend a few minutes. So, and the last but not least is another way to engage. We support a wonderful charitable organization. One of the most admirable causes that I know, the Keynote Warriors, and it's really to help train and pair service dogs with veterans with PTSD. And we've sponsored them for a while now, and we continue to do so. The top 5 contributors, we're a little competitive in this bunch, I understand, but the top 5 contributions to the charity over the next 2 days by Thursday night at 7, we'll give you 5 spots for your generosity. So the folks will keep track of that. You can see it on the app, the link's out there. You can see what the contributions are. So I can't thank you enough in advance for engaging and supporting the charity. Okay, with that, I'd like to bring out a consequential figure in the ConnectWise storyline, and probably someone you all are here waiting to have speak. We started over 40 years ago as ConnectWise, an MSP designed for MSPs and really took on a new life over Jason's tenure from his strong and reliable, steady hand. And I've had the absolute pleasure of working with him for 15 years, both as a colleague and as a friend. I've witnessed his tireless work and relentless focus to position us into the future. He's a true visionary in our industry and a transformer for our organization. He's led us through a number of acquisitions, as you know, Service Leadership Continuum, Axient, Skykick. And to say he will be missed by our partners and by our colleagues and by me is an understatement. So I hope you help me welcoming Jason McGee.
Round of applause for Greg Lally. Thank you, Greg. So this is where I'm told I need to do a mic drop and exit stage left. But typical fashion, I do have some words. So look, this week marks an end to an incredible journey. One that began well over 13 years ago and had become one of the most fulfilling and transformative aspects of my life. Over these years, especially the last 5.5 as the CEO of ConnectWise and leading the IT Nation, I've had the privilege of working alongside and with all of you in this room, achieving things that I could never have dreamed of or imagined alone. Together, we've navigated some truly defining moments. From the unprecedented challenges of the global pandemic to capitalizing on the groundbreaking opportunities around cyber and automation. Every step of the way, I've seen us rise to meet each new challenge head on and seize each new opportunity. Cheers to that. So none of this would have been possible without the support, resilience, and the tenacity of all of you in this room. I owe a great deal of gratitude to several people and groups who have been instrumental on this journey with me. And let me be clear, there are way too many for me to call out your name or the groups today. So if you don't hear your name or your group, please don't take it personal. I will make sure I give you thanks at the bar tonight. On that, cheers again. So, bear with me. First, to Adam Slutskin, who insisted I take a fateful meeting with David Bellini and Matt Natrab. Without Adam's nudge and the opportunity that David and Matt afforded me, I wouldn't be standing here today. Arlen, thank you for your steady guidance and mentorship. Your wisdom has been a beacon for not only me, but many others. And Arnie, thank you for believing in me and trusting me to lead us to new heights. Oh, and Arnie, it's only taken me 5.5 years as the CEO and over a dozen keynotes to be standing here today in a blue suit. So to my friends at Thoma Bravo, thank you for giving me the opportunity of a lifetime. Your trust and belief in our vision made it all possible. So thank you. To the ConnectWise colleagues and leaders, you're all amazing and made it fun. So keep on keeping on delivering for partner success. A special shout out to the entire IT Nation. Actually, shout out to the IT Nation team for always making me look good up here. That's what I meant to say. So appreciate you all. And to the Advisory Council and Executive Connect groups, your constructive feedback and guidance has been invaluable. You helped steer us in the right direction and held us accountable, ensuring we stayed true to our mission and made the best possible decisions for our collective future and for the IT Nation. Your influence has been a guiding light for both not only me, but ConnectWise as well. You also allowed me to fine-tune my billiards game along the way. Maybe a bourbon snob too. So special thanks also goes out to the entire IT Nation. MSP Geek, there you are. CompTIA, all the vendors that are probably in the pavilion, the Advantage partners, special shout out to Bill Stucklin, he's the one who made me the bourbon snob, and many, many more. You all have been the backbone of our progress, my progress, and it's been inspiring to see your passion, innovation, and commitment in action every day for this community and for your customers. And finally, to my family, and especially my beautiful wife, thank you. Your unwavering support has been the foundation upon which I've been able to build this journey. Without you all, none of this would have been possible. All right, so cheers to all of that and everyone who has helped me along this journey. So if you have one. All right, so that said, the journey is not over. The work is far from being done, and the opportunities ahead are vast. There's still so much potential waiting to be unlocked, and I know that each of you will take the mission and vision forward and continue to make incredible things happen. You'll seize those opportunities, you'll overcome those challenges and hit them head on. So now, it is my pleasure to introduce Manny Ravello, CEO of ConnectWise, who will lead you all into the next leg of this journey. I am confident he'll guide you to even greater success and continue to build on this incredible momentum that the IT Nation has. Thank you all for an amazing journey. Appreciate you all.
right here. Well, first of all, thank you, Jason, for the warm introduction. Jason has been phenomenal. I mean, he has not only shepherded this organization for the last decade plus, he's been a massive contributor. As Greg was saying, lots of leadership, huge amounts of vision that he provided to everybody. I want to thank you on behalf of all the partners that are here, all the ISVs, all the vendors, all the colleagues, the list goes on, our board, many of who are here. Thank you, but I also want to thank you for this transition. You've made it super easy, and I appreciate everything you've done. So how about a huge round of applause for this man?
Thank you. I will say I do have one more thing. This is a tradition that was passed on to me from Arnie, and many colleagues and partners who may have been on the stage and or in the ConnectWise studio may have heard this. I won't use the word, but it goes something like this, Manny. You're taking on an incredible opportunity and community here. 3 simple words. Don't bleep it up.
By the way, thank you for leaving the bourbon, in case I need it. Welcome. I'm serious. Welcome to Orlando. Welcome to IT Nation. It is my honor to be up here talking to all of you. Just so you get a glimpse, there's 4,500 of you here and in the pavilion. There's another 2,500 individuals that are coming in via a video, and we represent over 50 countries. I was told this is IT Nation for North America. Well, no, it carries way beyond that. And it is amazing to watch the passion that we all have for our market as we move forward. As a matter of fact, I've had the honor over the course of the last 4 weeks, I've been here, this is week 5, to meet many of you, not all of you, there's way more of you than I could meet in 4 weeks, but I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of you. I've met with the Evolve team, a lot of forums, a lot of different discussions, and I love the feedback. As a matter of fact, instead of feedback, I call it love. I call it, because you provide so much feedback, I'm taking it as love. You are giving us what we need to help you be much more successful inside the business, and I want to thank all of you. And like I said, it is my honor to be here. Now, I thought it'd be appropriate because when I look at this community, I look at a family. I mean, it is different. I've had the pleasure to present to large user groups in the past, way different than this. As you go to the breakouts and you talk to them, you're sitting side by side, you may be in the same city, servicing the same customer, and yet you're here to support each other and help each other be successful. So I thought I'd share a little bit about myself so I could become a stronger piece of this family. Just real quickly, personally, my wife, Cheryl, wonderful lady. I have 4 kids, 17s to 31. So it's been a busy house for many, many years, and a cat and a dog. And 3 of the kids are female, and my youngest is a boy. I love anything that has to do with the outdoors. So if you're an outdoors person, come talk to me. I love hiking, biking, skiing, you name it. I love being outside because we spend a lot of time inside the office. And if I have downtime, to be honest, I just want to be with my family and friends because we work kind of hard and it's an opportunity to recharge the battery. Professionally, I am an engineer. I went and studied engineering, computer science, and electrical engineering. I've been in this industry. I won't age myself any further than say 30 years. I'll give you some hints, and you could probably decipher what it actually is. And I spent about a third of my career in engineering, managing engineering teams, building products, kind of innovating in the market segment. A third running go-to-market organizations, everything from marketing, channels, our business to MSPs, you name it, sales, direct, indirect, you name it. And about a third doing general management type of activities. I know, sometimes referred to as overhead, right? Being CEO of a company, operating officer of a company, trying to get the company to align around a direction as we move forward. So that's a little bit about me. I will join Jason tonight at the bars, but I won't stay there maybe as late as him because I have to be back here tomorrow morning, and so do you because I'm going to talk to you about what's going to happen tomorrow morning. Now, this is where you could start trying to figure out how long I've been in the industry. I've been here for 4 massive transitions inside the market, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that because there's others that are coming. The first was in the late 80s, early 90s, this thing called the internet. which we are all part of it. We all leverage the internet right now, and I was there in the early days when we were trying to just wire offices and homes around the internet, followed by what I think became the second transformative piece of our industry, which is the simplification of using of technology, which became the web, which we're all that's like the Windows, right? For us to get our work done is the web browser and the interface. But I'm showing you here other transformations that I've been part of, which was everything that has to do with cloud, everything that has to do with SaaS, and the last gig I did was everything that has to do with security. And the reason I put security underneath, it's on a separate path. Security to me is synonymous with everything that has to happen in the industry. If you connect to the internet and it's not secure, and you can tell all your end customers this, watch out, because it's not what's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen, if it hasn't already happened to them. So security is synonymous. It's a massive opportunity. It's a massive market that's out there. And yeah, we're all talking about AI. And there's billions of dollars being spent a year on AI, but there's more technology behind them. We got quantum computing coming, we got edge computing, we have digital trust technologies, and the list goes on and on. With every one of these, whether we did it in the office or at home or in today's environment, which is hybrid, it's a massive opportunity for everybody in this room. And I'll go to say, and this is Canalys data, the IT market today, this year, is $5.4 trillion. Now pause for a second. That's 5 to 6% of the worldwide GDP, which is growing. And you can see the numbers here for managed service, right? Over $600 billion, and that's growing at double digits as we move. So this is a massive market that is out there, that is growing on a continuous basis. And the interesting stuff, when you start to peel this back, is that 44% of that TAM is SMB. As Greg stood up here, that opportunity is huge. There's millions of companies out there, and it's massive. And it's only even larger than that if you start thinking about it, if you are fulfilling products and you're driving those to your end customers also. So from a channel perspective, it's higher. It's 73%. So there is infinite amount of opportunity out there, and it continues to grow because the disruptions continue to be there. And to be perfectly honest, the end customers, the SMB customers, with the complexity that's ahead and currently, are fully dependent on this room. There is no way around it. They can't insource this technology. How do you hire somebody who, yeah, maybe could take care of your PCs, but do they understand the cloud environment? Do they understand security? There's a lot of nuance in that. They need your expertise to deliver that, and they need your expertise to be focused on the outcomes so they could do their business and continue to prosper and grow. Now, this is some interesting data, which, if you guys know Peter, Peter's that kind of, somebody called him the Forrest Gump of data, right? Peter runs our SLI, Organization Service Leadership. And this is last 12-month data, so it's kind of normalized. You can see when the hump happened, right? Because that hump was remote work. But it wasn't just because people went home. At the same point in time, inflation started to rise, which means pricing started to rise, right, inside that market. And now it's kind of gradually come back down. But the interesting part to see that even the managed services revenue growth is kind of stabilizing at that 12%. So it's double-digit growth, right? Also in the managed services, which is something you all do. Now, last year at this event, and I wasn't at this event, this is sort of what you told us. You came and told, 3,000 people told us these things. Now, I boiled this down to something pretty simple. Help us become much more profitable so we can have profitable growth, and help us with efficiencies. How do we make my business much more efficiency? And I'm efficient, and I want to unpack that a little bit. Now, what I will tell you is why I'm here. I'm here because not only is the market massive, and not only do we have a community that works together for the greater good of servicing the SMB market, and every one of you here has that opportunity to learn from each other. This is an enviable position. I've presented to rooms, I've presented to different verticals in the enterprise space, and I cannot get 3 bankers to sit in the same room, right? You can't get Citibank next to Chase, this to that, to talk about technology, to talk about best practices, to talk about anything. But yet here, the community thrives on that, and we support each other and lift each other, and you provide all that feedback. So this is not just a community. This is much greater than that, and it's an enviable position to be in, and this is something that we will protect for sure. The second thing is you don't see a market that is multi-trillion dollars for the SMB and not try to address it through a platform. It just doesn't exist. You have 20 to 40 different technology stacks that you integrate as best as you can, and you use human middleware, people, to do a lot of that integration. It is inefficient, it's costly, and guess what? It's only going to get more complex because the technology continues to come, and it's coming at an ever-increasing pace. So we wholeheartedly believe, and we started on this vision a long time ago, that a platform can transform this industry, give it the growth that it deserves, and the profitability that it deserves, and there's better days ahead. And we set out a very simple mission from a business perspective. This is to empower you, right? And to give you unmatched software, services, and create this community so you can achieve whatever your goals are, as ambitious as you want to make your goals. This is something that I will continue to honor, and we will continue to protect at ConnectWise. I want you to be assured of that. Because the power is in this room, it is not just in us as an individual. Now, why is a platform so valuable? A platform is a vehicle to unlock incredible amounts of value. At the bottom, it helps you with your COGS, which is broken down into two facets. It's broken down into what you spend for software. I mean, there's a couple other things there like facilities, et cetera, but it's broken down into your software that you buy, the stack of tech you buy, which is roughly 20 to 25% of your costs. And this is service leadership data. So this is polled by many, many folks. And then 75% is your people. The people that are managing, that are helping you. A platform could help unlock value there by creating efficiency, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. But if you build the right platform, you could also begin to layer on top of it monetization strategies around security, data protection, and the list goes on, all integrated in a simple way for you to consume it and for you to deliver it to the end customer to create a better experience. And if you start thinking about platforms for a second, I picked two. There's a lot. I mean, in addition to what you're seeing on the screen, there's many, many more that we could talk about, and I'll spend a minute talking about them. These are two fairly large platforms. Their goals were never as ambitious as you're seeing them to be today. Microsoft, 50 years in the making as a platform, and has reinvented themselves because they always had a platform mentality and a platform approach. And Salesforce, who started out as a simple CRM thing, is nowhere near being just a CRM company, and they've been 25 years at this. But the value of a platform is truly this slide. For every dollar, the center slide is AWS, so that 640 is AWS. But most platforms that are out there, for every dollar that you consume of the platform, the ecosystem around it has $5 to $6. And some of these are some of the services that you can provide inside the platform, which means there's a lot of opportunity to build value around that. And a platform also creates this interesting dynamic, which creates this flywheel effect. Because if you think about it, if you have a platform and on one end you bring your suppliers, the way to look at that is the software you provide to your end users. The more software you get on that platform to make it easy for you to consume and deliver, the more consumers show up, meaning yourselves, right? The more consumers show up, the more software that shows up because people want to deliver their software to you. The more users show up, and that begins to create this flywheel effect so you can realize the dollar amount that's out there. Now, I'd be remiss if I came up here and not told you that we've been on a journey for a while. We've been talking about ASIO for numerous years. We've been showing you glimpses of ASIO. Many of you have told me, yeah, I've heard it, but Manny, you got to deliver it, you got to finish it. We were excited about it, but it's not here today. Well, I'm here to tell you that we are at that tipping point. I'm here to tell you that it is ready for prime time. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that as I speak here today, but we have hit that inflection point. And let me show you some of the adoption metrics so you can see what we're doing from a platform. There are over 3,000 partners, almost as many of them in this room right now, that are on the platform today. There's over 2.2 million endpoints on the platform leveraging RMM. And you could see the 2.8, almost 3 million automated patches that we're doing on a monthly basis. And then you might not have seen the press release we just dropped at 5 o'clock, where we just put PSA on the platform, which I'll come back to. And we've been EAing that product, early access that product for a while. And now we have 1,000 partners that are giving us direct feedback on that. And even the product, which I'll spend a little bit more time about, Security 360, is starting to get momentum as we move forward. So we are seeing a lot of excitement. But look, you don't have to listen to me. I want to play a quick video of what some of our partners who've been using the platform have to say about this. So let's roll that video.
They're all bought into one platform. I believe ConnectWise is making the right acquisitions to plug into ASIO, so we can all work out of one pane of glass and have a truly integrated product.
I couldn't believe more wholeheartedly that the vision and that North Star of where the platform approach is the best thing for not just for our business, but for other MSPs that are looking to grow with scale, but impact.
I think the biggest thing that the ASIO platform has done for us is having everything in one place and having that dashboard and high-level overview over all of the products that we're using within there, and just being able to see everything in one place and make one change. And I think really the greatest thing there is time savings, right? And having our technicians log into one portal and being able to click through and not have to leave and click and go through a lot of different portals.
With a platform approach, we can focus on other human beings and making ourselves better.
So it's come a long way. It's in a way better position, and it's ready for you to begin to adopt it and look at it and see how it could transform your business so you can grow your business. Last year, you also gave us this as your concerns, the challenges you're faced with. I got to deal with multiple UXs. I got to deal with multiple training because I got multiple products in my platform. I can't map my data inside. I have issues with that, right? And the list goes on and on. You could read the rest. Basically, a lot of inefficiency and a lot of challenges that you're faced with. Imagine, as we say now, layer security, layer this, layer that, layer all these monetization mechanisms that your end users need. How is that going? How are you going to deal with that? So what we've done is the following. We have now taken PSA and put it inside the platform with RMM. Now, you need to talk to your sales teams, you need to talk to your partner success managers to make sure, because we're continuing to add feature capability here at a very rapid pace, that it is ready for you. But for most of you, it is ready. And this solves a lot of problems because now you have the common UX, you have common ticketing as an example, and you have like something as simple as common companies, sites, and end users. So across your different technology stacks, you type that in once and you're done from a business perspective. The platform also lets you customize your FTE's experience. You decide what is on a screen and only what you want to see on that screen to get your job done. So these widgets, you could rearrange these widgets, you could do whatever you want to do on that to make your life much easier to deliver the services that you have. Greg talked a little bit about automation, this concept of RPA workflows, which is in our mind workflow, but we do it in a quite interesting way because we actually take automation and the business logic and also embed, if you will, AI into that. And we can embed APIs and do calls outside of it. And the interface is super easy. It's like a low code, you drag and drop, and you create your workflow for that to get efficiency. And I encourage you all to take a look at that QR code. If you haven't seen it, it's a playbook. It's again part of what we want to share with you of how you begin to think about AI inside your organization and go and mature your organization using the power of AI as you move forward. And here's a simple example. This is actually a live example, if you will, where this is about onboarding a new client. And if you're doing this often, it could save you huge amounts of savings, because what you used to do in 60 minutes, you could potentially do in 10 minutes. You could also take all the human error out of it. And then you could see, depending on how many times a month you do it, the benefits that you have from an organization perspective. So these are all mechanisms to make your life easier, to run your business and drive your productivity and profitability. But then on top of that, we believe that we need to help and make the world simpler from the perspective of security. I said security is synonymous with everything. Every one of your end users requires security, and this can help you grow your business. And what Security 360, which by the way, we announced Security 360 in June at Secure Connect. We had, at the time, 2 partners that were integrated into it. Today, we have 8 as of this conference. By the end of this month, it'll be 11. And by the end of this year, it'll be 15. And think about this like an attack surface management tool, where we could take a lot of your information, your AV information, your email information, vulnerabilities, and the list goes on, and begin to display it around a common customer and actually give them a security index, or rate their security index, if you will, to see about the health of that organization and how we drive that. Huge opportunity, and we normalize this data. So if you want to use 2 EDR solutions, or a customer wants to use 2 EDR, we normalize that. So you're just seeing it as 1 EDR, although we're intelligent enough to know that you're using 2 EDR solutions for that endpoint, or different endpoints, if you will, and manage that and take corrective action. So it's a simple user interface, 1 click away from taking actions and changing things. Then we did the same thing. We launched, and it's generally available also, Backup 360, and think about this exactly the same. We have 5 integrations there. The only one that's coming now is Skykick. All the other ones are in there, and the ones that are in there are things like Axient, Acronis, Beam, our old ConnectWise, SaaS backup, if you will. Datto's in there also, and we're bringing in Skykick. Same thing. Can I look at the backup on an endpoint? Can I look at the backup of a server? Can I look at the backup of a cloud instance? And be able to monitor that and ensure that backups are occurring for numerous reasons: disaster recovery, ransomware, the list goes on and on. There's an exciting opportunity also. That's a very simple set of PLG products that you could deploy for your clients. And then on top of that, a platform is not a platform unless it has an open ecosystem. I mean, that's like the foundation of a platform almost. This brings a huge amount of opportunity to every one of you. And when you go to the Solution Pavilion, a lot of these individuals are going to be there, and you can monetize these things also and offer value. And you pick the ones that make sense for your business that you drive to your customers. This is a sample list. What I'm showing you now on this one is the ones that have already been put into Azure as a platform. And we're going to go through the rest of the list fairly quickly. You probably saw an announcement we did in mid-October, where we partnered with Microsoft, and really the list of Defender technology that Microsoft has with our MDR, ConnectWise MDR, and we're offering that through the Pax8 marketplace for people to buy that. All right. I may be a Microsoft Pax8 employee, but I appreciate the call out there. So we're going to be doing more of this, making it easier for people to consume the technology as we move forward. Now, a little bit in closing. It's your business. I mean, you have to decide how you want to proceed with your business. We are committing to adding a lot of innovation. And if we work our way from the bottom up, you can start looking at ASIO, the simplification of bringing together PSA and RMM, adding to it AI and RPA to tackle the cost of your business. The 25%, whether it be tools cost and or labor costs, make yourself much more efficient. If you're looking for revenue streams, there's a lot of stuff we're adding on top. Security services, backup services, a full-blown ecosystem, and we will continue to build on that also, making it easier for you to deliver that. And then on top of that is why we're here. I mean, we are here because we want to network We want to learn, we want to share, and we want to see Jason later at the bar, some of us, right? But that's why we're here. It's this community on top of all of that, and this is the innovation we hope and will bring year in, year out to this community as we move forward. Now, before I wrap up, 2 quick call-outs. I'd like you to attend this session if you can. What we did is we took some service leadership data, and by the way, if you go there, we'll show you a calculator so you can decide what you automate. So Oz is having a session tomorrow. It's at 10 p.m. That's what the session's called. So you can see it on the top right-hand corner. And let me explain a little bit what we got here. So an average size MSP in this room does about $4 million of managed service. About half of that you have as COGS. And you can see the rest of the math. What you see is the gross margin percentage as well as the gross margin dollars at the bottom. We modeled that out, looking at data that we believe is achievable because it's been done. You can grow your managed service business at 12% per year and move that to approximately $5 million. Make small investments in tooling, which, by the way, it's already in ASIO, so that investment's not even have to be made, but you can make additional investments in tooling, if you will. Hold your labor costs constant and drive your bottom line by 800 basis points, as well as $375 million. Now, the true profit, if you did this, is more like 875 because half of it is already on the revenue side, but there's also dollars to be gained by being much more efficient. So start looking at automation and AI. It is a game changer, and it'll differentiate the folks in this room and allow you to create way better experiences. The second thing, for those of you at the bar tonight, I am going to do a pass around 11 o'clock and try to get you all to go to sleep. Because if you want to see, and I encourage you, if you want to see a day in the life of ASIO, tomorrow up on the stage at 8:30, the GMs will be up here showing you in great detail. I just skimmed the surface of the value of what this platform can do, so you can start to understand that better. And we want you to start leveraging the platform and using the platform, and we'll give you test accounts and we'll do all that stuff to make sure that we get that feedback because it's that valuable. So please try to attend those 2 breakouts. And trust me, I know there's 150 breakouts. I know how busy all you are. But if you could go there, I think that will change your view of what you get to do over the next couple of years inside your business. So in closing, I thought I'd close with a quote. I don't know how many know Helen Keller. She was a unique individual. Helen Keller, at the 19 months, became deaf and blind. First woman to get a college degree in the United States, deaf and blind, prolific writer, a huge social contributor, citizen from a business perspective. And this is her quote. And this speaks to this room. Yes, we, ConnectWise, can get things accomplished. We can do so much or so little. But with you, with the power of this community, there's nothing we can't accomplish. And that, I know. And that we're committed to as a business. So thank you. Thank you for the power of this community. I want to thank you again for everything you do with us. I'd like you to have an incredible event, and I look forward to seeing all of you at the Solutions Pavilion, which is starting right now. Thank you all.